Hey gang, Sally here with Kit. With Kit, he's on this side, he's usually on the other side. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. We're here with something different. I'm going to be trying this. This will be the intro for every single one of these videos. But I've talked to a couple of friends who like my videos. Yay, thank you for that. And they all thought this would be a good idea, so I'm going to give it a shot and see what you all think too. So let me know in the comments down below. These are driving day videos. So I can't promise you you're going to get to see, you won't get to see everything that I was actually going for that day. Um, and these are going to be completely unedited. So what you're going to see is some driving, and then you'll hear me say, GoPro, stop recording. And that's how you know the end of that segment. I'm not even going to edit that out. I'm going to just leave it in. And some of these will be like super long. Some of them won't be very long. They'll probably all be fairly long, I'm guessing. But the deal is I run two cameras when I'm driving, and I'm not recording constantly. I record when I think of something that I want to talk about or when I think the scenery is interesting. And a lot of times I will, when I'm trying to edit a video down, I'll go through and I will edit it down so that if it's just a driving segment, I'll speed it up so you can see the scenery but get through it faster. I'm not doing that. You can speed it up on YouTube though if you want to. So, hope you enjoy this. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate you taking your time to do that. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. If you love this, let me know. And if you don't like it, you can let me know that too. Um, if you can stand to do it, I'd really appreciate it if you can stay all the way to the end, because YouTube really likes it when you watch an entire video, and so do I. And as always, comments, thumbs up, all that good stuff. We're going to roll the intro and get right into it.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Well, this has been my first ever Boondockers Welcome stay. And it was lovely. I was here for 2 nights. And now we're going to get on our way. I'm trying to use as many Harvest Hosts and now Boondockers Welcomes as I can. It's just generally better than being in parking lots. That said, I'm going to be in a Cabela's tonight, so that'll be awesome. There was no sun again all day yesterday, so I ended up running the generator for about 2 hours.
Turn left onto Tremblay Drive, then turn left onto
Alright, and my CarPlay's not connecting. Let's see if we can get that working properly. So we're going to work on that and then get on down the road. The first place we're going to stop at today, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to stop actually, is, I think it's the oldest operating diner in the country. And certainly in Maine, but I think in the entire country. And I don't think we're going to be able to stop because I don't think I'll be able to park, but we're going to at least do a drive-by. Alright, I got some issues here. Let me get this figured out. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, well, after screwing around for, 5 or 10 minutes, I got my CarPlay ride to reconnect via Bluetooth, but CarPlay isn't showing up at all. So I guess I'm going to be using my map off my phone today, or for at least as long as this takes. But at least I've got that working. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess that makes sense. We came from the west, we're heading east. We'll be turning left. Yeah, just like that. This is a very, very busy road. And getting out of here could be a thing. Kit and I walked down here yesterday morning, walked down to the left to the next road, and it was quite busy and we were both a little bit terrified, I think.
Continue on US 4 East for 4 miles.
We survived. And sorry, the GPS is going to be announcing loudly from Google because since my CarPlay ride isn't working, it's connecting directly through the stereo in the cab. Oh well. So So we got 71 degrees, woohoo, and sun-ish. So hopefully we'll get enough battery charging done today. One of the issues with where I was parked, when I pulled in the first day about 12:30, it was awesome actually. I put myself squarely, because it was, you know, sun was almost directly overhead. So I was getting sun directly on the roof, but I was getting shade just barely from the trees on the passenger side and from the garage on the driver's side, so it was really quite nice. But then yesterday, as I said, was completely cloudy, so we got nothing. And looks like today we're going to get partial sun, so that'll be awesomeness. And I also realized I overfilled my Berkey just before we left, so hopefully I'm not going to, you know, get any spillage, but it is what it is. It will be fine. And we've got, I think, about an hour and a half to our first destination, which is going to be the Palace Diner. And then I'll check and see if it's the oldest in the country or just the oldest in New Hampshire. But it's been in operation for almost 100 years. And, you know, started life as a diner car on a train, apparently. Started life as a diner car, and I think it was moved from location to location to serve the Biddeford Mills area, which is the next thing we're going to go do, is go visit the Biddeford Mills Museum. So yeah, so that's the plan for today, guys. And then we've got a lovely night at Cabela's, and I can't remember what's happening tomorrow yet. I've got a few days planned. I got a few days sitting at a Harvest Toast in a church parking lot, just so I can, first of all, I want to kill a little bit of time, because I'm not getting enough fall color now. I was afraid I was going to, you know, get too much and be too late. But I think I'm okay with that. Because everything here, of course, is looking very, very green. And I think the temperature is going to warm up again next week, which might delay fall colors further. We'll see. So that's what I know for now. Let's see if we see anything interesting along the way. I'll get back to you. GoPro, stop recording. Well, despite the fact that I chose to stop in front of a sign that said no stopping or standing, I didn't actually notice the sign when I pulled over. It occurred to me that part of my problem might be that for whatever reason my phone had disconnected CarPlay, which, as it turns out, was exactly what had happened. So I turned CarPlay back on for my Carpy ride, and now everything is back to normal. So we won't be hearing directions given in a loud voice, just in the quiet voice that Quirky Ride uses. So that's good news. I'm actually very happy about that. Interesting looking truck for sale. Kind of a cool paint job. A little weird, kind of cool. So we got 3/4 of a mile, and we're going to get on New Hampshire Route 155. Leaving behind US 4 East, maybe, or maybe US 4 East turns as well. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's just gonna be 155. And so our ETA is Google time, 1 hour and 12 minutes to go 40 miles. Just think about that. Which actually may be fairly accurate in the RV. If it's going to take that long to do 40 miles according to Google, I can probably do the speed limit. So we're not going to be terribly far from the coast, but I'm also not planning to get near the coast at this point, because I was planning to do that on the way back. I might change my mind after I stop tonight. Oh no! No, it's Junction 4. might change my mind after I stop tonight and take a closer look at, you know, weather patterns and stuff like that. But for the moment, I think I'm going to save that for the way back. Also, from what I understand, speaking with my host Mary from last night, and the night before, it's basically just like a lot of really busy high traffic along the coast itself. So unless there are specific things I'm going to do, I'll probably skip it. So the speed limit on this road is 40 miles an hour. I guess that's why it's going to take an hour and 11 minutes to go 39 miles now. And I'm fine with it. Depending on the turns and the steepness, I may not even be able to do 40. Oh, horse crossing this time. I've seen signs that say moose crossing and, you know, moose area, like next 6 miles and whatever. But I wonder what the cops doing there. That's unclear. Maybe just trying to get people to slow down. But again, talking with Mary, I'm not likely to see any moose until I get all the way up to the northeast. And even then, you know, I may not be likely to see any at all, unless I'm really out in the wilds. I found an overlander spot. I think that's going to be 4 or 5 days from now. That's on a lake. That looks quite nice. A little bit nervous about it. I've been hit or miss with overlander. But it seems to be working better in the Northeast than it did for me in the Midwest last year. And it is a convenient way to be able to look for water sources. Now see, this tree on the right is really getting some color on it. It's not there yet, that one's not there yet, but things are changing, and so it's kind of hit or miss. And I think my deal is going to be, you know, I don't really care too much about seeing the very first changes of color at the very northeastern point, but I don't want to miss it completely by moving too fast. So, a little bit of a juggling act. And it makes me feel kind of sorry for the people that are planning fall color trips and, you know, they got to make a guess and hope they're going to hit it. And then, of course, those are all the most crowded places, too. And I wasn't planning to do the Blue Ridge Parkway or the Shenandoah Parkway again this year, but I might have to do it. Last year I got some of it, but I really didn't get a tremendous amount of it. And now the speed limit's down to 35. So this could take a hot minute, even by my standards. GoPro, stop recording. Welcome to Dover. And we are still in New Hampshire.
Exit the traffic circle onto Silver Street. In a quarter mile, turn left on
Interesting. So fuel here is $3.25 and $3.19 at those two gas stations. But we passed one a couple of miles back that said $3. Unfortunately, sort of, I've only got 35 miles on this tank full of gas, plus 2 hours of generator. So not enough to make it worthwhile stopping for. And of course, when I run the generator, are you kidding me, Google? Nah, you gotta do better than that. I guess we are by the coast because it says downtown waterfront. Google wanted me to avoid that part. When I run the generator, if I haven't driven much in the way of, you know, an accumulated mileage on that tank of gas, then my fuel economy
Turn left onto
is worse than it would otherwise be. I think we wanted to see this part of Dover anyway. How pretty. What do you think, Kitster? Is it pretty and old? I mean, look at these houses, guys. We're in New England. I never would have thought it. Okay, and we're on a truck route now, so there's that. But I guess we're about to leave the truck route behind.
at the light. Turn left onto Central Avenue. In a quarter mile, turn right onto Washington Street.
Well, we're going to cross over a river for whatever that's worth. 1912 for that brick building on our left. Look at this one on our right. That looks pretty daggone old. It's a duplex. Yeah, 305 at Prime. Boy, I'd have trouble getting in that gas station. I wish these buildings all had signs out front that said how old they were. But they look pretty old, don't they? And some of them are in really good shape. Look at this brick one on the right. Wow, look at the little downtown. I don't know how little it is, but gold top spire. What you looking at, kidster? Can we see you standing up there? With your paws on the dashboard, looking out at everything. So this section of road is completely red on Google Maps. So it could take a minute or two to get through here. I don't know what that building is, but it's very attractive. And it's got a monument out front. It's the municipal building. Okay. Now we know. Brick and Brew Pizzeria.
At the light, turn right onto Washington Street.
The church that I'm going to stay at, Thirsty Moose Tap House, nice. I'm going to stay at for a couple of nights in a couple of days. Says that they've got a good pizza joint within walking distance. So I've been kind of craving pizza. I think I'm going to just hold off and make that one of my dinner plans. Oh, and no turn on red. Foster's Daily Democrat. This building across the street on the far left corner is the Stafford Banks building with the Thirsty Moose Tap House on the lower level. And then, can we see it? Let's see if I can turn. No. Over to the left, where we can't see it, you can't see it, is another brick building, and then hard by that is a modern parking garage. Look at these brick buildings and look at that tower up there.
Left onto Main Street.
Now leasing Chinburg.com. No idea what it was. Looks like it's apartments now. Kind of cool.
Turn left onto Lincoln, then slide right onto Portland Avenue.
Well, I'm glad I skipped Google's direction to go down whatever its original intention was. There is an ice arena and something else down there.
1,000 feet, slide right to stay on Portland Avenue.
Oh, now we're on New Hampshire 4. Yeah, these roads are a little confusing. Oh, and I guess we're going to sit here for a minute or two or three. Stop here on red, so I guess I need to be probably a little closer to make sure that it gets me. Well, that's interesting. There was a car that just came down and turned on the other side of that building up ahead. But the rest of them aren't moving yet. Here they come. We'll let you take a break. GoPro, stop recording. So, no idea what this town is. But again, it's a bunch of old buildings. I love that blue. I didn't see a sign. Huh. Wonder when that happened. just look at this. I know I've said it before in other contexts, but I'm going to say it again, just because I can. And I think I just had a little bit of a revelation around this. You get a whole different sense of history in the East and Northeast, and especially in the Northeast now. I mean, this is my first time here, guys. I've never been to Maine before. Another new state. I might have to get my map down and fill in all my new states tonight. There's a monument to something with cannons. So in the West, most of the Western history is, you know, early mid-1800s is really when things get started, and then from mid-1800s on. And here in the Northeast, I mean, really it's 1600s. I'm not seeing a whole lot of evidence of 1600s yet. Look at this place up on the right. Boy, is that gorgeous. No idea what it is, but it's gorgeous. Oh, it's a golf course. But yeah, the history dates back to the 1600s. White history. Let's just clarify that. And there's just so much more of it comparatively, because everything is so much more densely occupied. Does that make sense? I mean, like that, whatever that little town was that we just drove through, every single thing almost was pretty daggone old. And oftentimes, stuff that's not old is made to look old. So yeah, I'm feeling kind of impressed. Hope you're enjoying the tour. Hey, I haven't said it for a little while, but you know, seriously, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. GoPros, stop recording. Well, Maine doesn't announce its little town names very effectively. I have no idea what this is. But they've got all of these signs along the right side, like they did in New Hampshire, that it's got too much information. It's too hard for me to read as I drive by. This one says Fetch and Fun Daycare to the right, Moody's Collision Centers to the right, Aroma Joe's drive-through to the right, and I wonder, those must be paid ad placements, I'm guessing. Look at this place. Just look at it. That's at least, oh, that's a quadruplex. That was a fourplex. And of course, one of my big disappointments from being up here is that I'm not going to be able to eat any Maine lobster, because I came down with an allergy to shellfish June a year ago, and I don't want to die. Wow, that's cool looking. Moose, next 2 miles. Do we believe it? I wonder if moose are most active like at dawn and dusk the way that elk are. Could be. Would be pretty cool to see a moose. I mean, my experience with all the elk that lived around my big house was that they kind of seem like gentle giants, but they can get PO'd and be pretty aggressive. And I think the same is true of moose. And it's never a great idea to try to interact directly with wildlife. It just isn't a good idea. GoPro, stop recording. Well, whatever this little town that we're coming into is, it doesn't look old and antique.
Exit the traffic circle on the Maine corridor.
And it seems to be nothing more than a traffic circle, perhaps? Oh, we got a few more businesses up here. Lighthouse, Credit Union, Andy's Auto Detailing, road work ahead. Oh goody. Office supplies. Expect delays. Centerline rumble strip. Well, apparently not. Since it's all just freshly paved. We don't have to expect delays. Oh, perhaps because today is Saturday. I didn't think about that. And I could have stayed at that Harvest Toast Boondockers Welcome where I was for the last 2 nights for maybe another night if I wanted to. But what I realized was the museum I want to go to today is only open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if I didn't get there today, then it's unlikely that I would be able to, because I didn't want to hang around in this very location for another week. So there you go. Alright, all along this stretch we've got a bunch of manufactured homes. One stick built there. Oh, there's another one. But mostly manufactured homes. So it's kind of like being in suburbia or whatever. Speed limit's 40, this guy's doing 25. North Stove Company on the right there. Well, gas prices in Maine seem to be okay. Like that, I think that was, yeah, Citgo was $3.19 on the left there. And kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I think I'm going to stay at a Sam's Club tomorrow night, if I'm remembering correctly. And my plan is to fill up there. Look, a sign! Welcome to Alfred. since 1764. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Now, I don't know if Alfred has any buildings remaining from 1764, but just the very fact that they were established that long ago is pretty impressive, to my way of thinking. But Alfred is apparently not big enough to rate a speed limit slowdown, and so far I'm not really seeing any buildings that look like they are particularly historic. Stop recording. Well, we found modern civilization again. Off to my right here, there's a Target and a grocery store and a few other things, and we've got Mattress Firm and Five Guys to the left, and the Kobe Steakhouse and Sushi on the far right corner. I don't seem to be able to get enough Japanese food yet either. So, pizza first, and then maybe Japanese for my next eating out option. I did a bunch of work on my bookkeeping yesterday, and I am below budget on food so far. And I think I'm on budget on fuel, hopefully. But I'm above budget on a bunch of other things, so I really need to tighten my belt and mostly, I mean, I got the money, but mostly I need to do it because I need to learn to live on a budget, which is not something that I have ever done before in my life. So it's, you know, it's a new adventure. It's not, you know, doing it because I'm gonna run out of money next week if I don't, by any stretch of the imagination. But at my spending rate for this year, if I continue, I will be wrapping up my regular savings, as I refer to it, right about the time I finally start getting Social Security. And I would much rather be able to have a few months worth left over as an emergency cushion when I start collecting Social Security. Now, all of that said, there are also required minimum distributions that, you know, I'm going to start collecting Social Security at age 70, and at age 70 and a half, you have to start taking out RMDs. I haven't even begun to understand what the requirements there are. I mean, the good news is, I think that only applies to retirement savings, like for IRAs and you know, Roths and SEP IRAs and all that kind of stuff, which I don't have that much money in. And I think, as I understand it, the goal with required minimum distributions is so that you use up that money kind of like before you die, and you can't leave it to somebody else to not have to pay taxes on it. I don't understand it exactly. It's not really important yet. I've got, you know, like 2.5 years. 3 years for RMDs, 2.5 years before I can get Social Security. And, or not, that's not true. I could get Social Security right now. 2.5 years before I choose to get Social Security. So, oh look, that RVing gas station is 301. Woohoo! Ocean State Job Lot. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, as I do so often, I'm rambling. hospital here on the right. Dorothy Walker Bush Pavilion. We've only got 2 miles to our first destination, which, as I said, I'm not sure we're even going to be able to stop at. It might just be a drive-by. We shall see. GoPro, stop recording.
On Alfred Road.
I managed to be in the incorrect lane in the heavy traffic at that intersection back there. But fortunately, a pickup truck did finally let me get over to where I needed to be. So we are officially in Biddeford, even though I didn't see a sign that said so. You know, like no welcome to Biddeford sign. Massage Craft and Acupuncture Clinic. Man, I haven't had a massage in a year. It would be nice. But you know that whole budgeting thing that I was just talking about? Yeah. Probably not in my budget for right now. And I know part of the reason that I'm over budget is that I went through a period of time, I think through the end of last year and first few months of this year, where I was spending a lot of money on a stupid online game. And I finally had to just stop playing the game because, you know, I kept spending money in order to be able to keep playing at the level that I was at. And what I realized was that it was really not a good idea. So I finally quit. It was almost like a gambling addiction. It was like, no, $30. But I found that, you know, for a while I was doing like $30 every 2 days. So I ended up spending a couple $100 a month on this, you know, stupid game. Alright, here we come into downtown Biddeford. And we are looking for the Palace Diner. Lion King Barbers, interesting. I keep seeing signs like this one, autistic child, handicapped persons I've seen, you know, different things like that. So I'm not hopeful that I'm going to be able to park and actually walk up to it, but we'll see. We're still pretty cloudy and overcast today, which is unfortunate, but let's see how we're doing for power. We're at 87% and we've had 414 watts coming in just now. So I think we're probably going to turn out to be A-okay today, which will be awesome. Else, we're getting a tour of downtown Biddeford. There's the Pepperbell Mill.
Turn left onto Main Street, then turn left onto Franklin Street.
There's the Portland Pie Company basically straight ahead of us. Can I turn left here? Yeah, I can, okay. Pepperbell Mill is now Looks like it was originally a mill that has been converted to shops and stuff. Hey dude, you're just gonna have to stop. Sorry. Sorry.
Turn left onto Franklin Street, then your destination will be on the right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to park down here, but we'll just do the drive-through. So there's a sign for the Palace Diner.
Your destination is on the right.
Watching to make sure I don't hit that car. Woohoo! So it's gonna be right over here on the right.
East on Franklin Street toward Main Street, then turn right onto Main Street.
It's got a line. Yeah, I can't even get there to take a picture of it. Can't even get a view of it for you. Sorry about that. Oh well.
Head southwest on Franklin Street toward Alfred Road.
Somehow Google thought that I was going to be
Turn
able
left on
to
Alfred Road.
turn around there. Okay, this is going to be interesting, but I can do it, I think. Maybe. Am I going to make this turn? Or am I going to have to back up? Ah, not quite. Now, looking at this, can you see me driving into Boston? I can't. I don't see that happening. Okie dokie. Let's just try this again. I'm not holding out hope I'm going to be able to park at the Mill Museum either. But we shall see.
Head east on State Route 9 east, Main Street toward Foss Street. Continue on State Route 9 east for half a mile.
And just in case, I just put in Cabela's. Which of course now it wants to route me directly to Cabela's. So now I gotta exit, remove stop.
Head east on
There we
Main
go.
Street toward Hill Street, then turn left.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be really dicey. And I don't remember if I looked at the satellite view to see what I thought of the parking situation here. What do you think, Kit? Will we be able to park? Do you think? We're gonna find out, huh? Yeah, we are. I'm down to like one itchy mosquito bite now. And that one's not terrible. That'll probably be gone by the end of today. And hopefully I don't get a whole bunch more of them. GoPro, stop recording.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the right.
Parking for tenants and patrons only. Okay, I might be able to park if I can find a space.
Your destination is on the right.
Doesn't really look like it. Bummer. And I think I did look at the satellite view and determined that if I got here and I could find a couple of open spaces, I'd be able to park. But there aren't, so I can't. And this is what happens sometimes, guys. You just never know. So let's get our next destination in here.
Head east towards State Route 9 East, Main Street. In 150 feet, turn left on State Route 9 East, Main Street.
Oh, I wonder if I could have parked there.
Turn left on State Route 9 East, Main
Huh.
Street.
That could have been interesting. It doesn't say I can't park there. Nobody behind me. That doesn't say a thing about no parking. That I can see. If I can get in here. I don't want to be in that tree though. So let's try this again. Alright, well, we'll get this figured out. GoPro, stop recording. Okay, well, that turned out to be kind of fun. The museum was less than I was expecting in terms of, you know, what it had available, but it was still kind of an interesting stop. And there was a couple in the museum that were taking up all of the docent's time. So I ended up, you know, kind of walking through and then leaving. And then I was walking Kit around a little bit to check out the sights. And please tell me I'm going the right way.
Turn
Yes.
left onto Main Street.
And then look at that cool building across the street. The wife was sitting out on a rock outside the door when I was coming back with Kit. So I stopped and chatted with her for a little bit. And then her husband came out and we were all chatting, and we chatted for, I don't know, probably half an hour or so. That was pretty fun. And that's part of kind of the best part of what I do, is being able to get into random conversations with people that otherwise never would have happened. So got to see a cool little museum. Got to walk around and see some cool little sights. And got to have a great little random conversation. And
For 8 miles.
I'm glad I looked, because I thought I was just going straight to Cabela's and that was going to be the end of the day for me today. Look at how pretty the river is. Yeah, very pretty. But there's another stop I want to make, which will be a quirky stop. And I'm glad I looked, because I almost forgot about it. All these people riding uphill on conventional bicycles. Good for them. Good for them. Well, this says I'm going to be getting on US 1 South. I thought US 1 was on the Pacific coast. Maybe that's just California 1. Now I'm going to have to go look at a map. But I shouldn't be going south. I should be going north, I would think. So we have a lot of stuff we're going to see in Maine and Massachusetts. Don't know offhand, can't remember anything offhand that we're doing in Rhode Island, but we'll find something to do because I want to say that I've been here. Bark in the park next week. No bark in the park for you. So hopefully I'm going to be able to park at the next place. I looked at it on Google Maps this morning to see what that looked like, and I think it's going to work out. And if so, we're going to see a 1,700-pound chocolate moose. Yes, we are. I think you can just still barely see the corner of this, from the corner of the screen on the left, this greenhouse with the octagonal rooms on the right-hand side of it, and the porch upstairs, and all the gingerbread, and yeah, cool. Very, very cool. That's the kind of house that I always wanted to own, and in large part, if you watch the video where I was talking about Corning, New York, and Big Flats, and the farm I almost bought there, the house had a lot of those kinds of elements. And it was built, and it originally built in the 1700s and then added on to in the 1800s. And then modernized, I think, around 1920 to include electricity. Maybe 1930, probably about 1920, I think. Anyway, it was a cool place that, even with the greatest amount of sweat equity, would have been a lot of money to fix up properly. But, you know, I was young and dumb at the time and didn't know that then. Oh, okay. We're going to be making a U-turn onto US 1 South in 7 miles because the place we're going to is on the opposite side of the road. Now it makes sense. That's right, turn in front of me, make me slow down for you. And I can see lots of people are already getting ready for Halloween, and this is only September 7th. That's a storage building U-Haul thing. It's all metal. Interesting. On the left. And of course, you know, part of the issue always is you get all the stuff, you know, Dunkin' Donuts, Five Guys, IHOP, DQ, Wendy's, McDonald's. We are going to go to a McDonald's, I think, tomorrow. Because it's in Freeport, Maine, and they were not allowed to build their standard golden arches, so they bought an old building and converted it to a McDonald's. So we're going to take a look at that, I think, just for fun. But we're not going to eat there because it's McDonald's. Lobster Claw Restaurant. Hannaford seems to be the most popular grocery store that I've seen in New Hampshire and Maine so far. the 1,700-pound moose is not the only chocolate thing in their or the only thing in their chocolate menagerie. There we go. So I figured that would be a fun little spot to stop. Camping and lodging here at Silver Spring on the right. And I spent some time while I was at the Boondockers Welcome looking for Army Corps of Engineers or dispersed Forest Service camping. I couldn't find anything in Maine at all. So I think I've got at least a few weeks of, you know, Harvest Host, Boondockers Welcome, tar docking, and I'm largely going to take advantage of pretty much being able to stay as long as I can at each of the places that I can. Oh, look at this. Is this a temporary fair over here on the left? No, it's Fun Town, Splash Home, Splash Town Adventure Theme Park. The kind of thing that holds no appeal for me. IMAX movie theater. I can't remember the last time I went to a movie. It was probably in Tehachapi, and I bet it's probably been, I'm gonna say, probably at least 2 years, maybe more than that. Cool looking building over here on the right. Beauty Supply, looks like, oh, we've done some roof work. Looks like they need to do some more. 1896 up on top of that building. And I don't know if any of this footage is ever going to see the light of day, but this is my journey and I want to document it. So that's what I'm doing. What do you think, Kidster? GoPro, stop recording. Okay, so it was an interesting turnaround I had to do to be able to get here. I think I'll be able to park. But here is the home of the life-size chocolate moose. Oh, I'm gonna just back in right here. That'll be okay. So it's called Len Libby Candies. I don't want to back too far into the trees. I think that's okay. Cool. GoPro, stop recording. Well, it doesn't always happen this way, but that stop was totally worth it. Let's hope I'm not going to regret trying to go around the back. No, I'm fine. The 1,700-pound chocolate moose, I mean, you know, what a great thing, right? Because chocolate mousse is such a popular dessert. It was carved. So they carved this entire mousse out of milk chocolate. Took them 4 weeks to do it. So I thought that was pretty daggone cool. And of course I got several different kinds of chocolate to try. And I got a taste of what they call Maine taffy, which I'd never had before. They had samples out. And lemon bark, which I'd never had before. Both were very good. But I restrained myself from buying a bunch of them. As it is, I spent, I think it came to $6.65 on about 5 pieces of candy. So we're heading for Cabela's now, and Google is routing us in a typically Google odd way, which is okay, I guess. And it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, still cloudy and overcast. Wildlife crossing. See little bits of water on the left and very marsh-like on the right here. So we're going to go ahead over to Cabela's, and then we're just going to park. I want to try and get another video edited this afternoon. Choice steaks and fresh Maine seafood. And I think it's just this little connector road that I probably have no business being on. Looks like the next turn is going to be a fairly major road. Hopefully. I was already getting hungry, and now that chocolate sample feels like an appetizer to whet my appetite. So I may just go ahead and make dinner right when I get there. We'll see. I did eat a little breakfast a little earlier than I typically do, just because, I mean, I can cook breakfast, no problem. I can do everything with the slide in, but I decided it was just slightly easier to do it while I still had the slide out and was parked. And I wasn't in any rush because the Biddeford Museum didn't open until 12 o'clock anyway. So this turns out to be a pretty short travel day, and I'm A-okay with that. We're heading back in the direction that we just came from, basically parallel to the main road that we were on, which was US 1, I think it said. And we're only 1.5 miles from Cabela's. Lobster, $8.99 any size. Wow! If only I could still eat lobster. And even if I could, I no longer have a pot big enough to cook one in. Hard to believe, looking at the landscape around us, that we're only a mile from Cabela's, huh? Tomorrow we're in Freeport, and we're going to go to LL Bean, do some shopping, maybe. guess we're coming into a shopping district the back way. Hopefully this one's pretty level. The last one I was in was not terribly level. That's taking me in the very back way.
In 1,000 feet, turn right.
Trucks, buses, and RV parking. Okie dokie.
Head west.
That's okay, kid. Wow, I'm losing my cell signal, but it says I've got a 5G data signal. That's interesting. And now it's coming back. It must have just been the height of the building, I'm guessing. Well, there's a bunch of trucks parked over there. I don't really want to park with all the trucks, but I'm betting I can park right here. What's this say? What's this sign say,
Head
kid?
northwest.
Doesn't say anything. All right. Let's stop and read the directions. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of unlevel though. Oh, of course, if I turn around and face the other way. All right, I'm going to figure this out. GoPro, stop recording. Well, I think we're going to call this good. It's going to be fairly noisy, I think. But this is a Saturday. I'm going to be out of here on Sunday. I'm not going to be parked right next to a bunch of trucks, so that's good. Reasonably level. I think we got it. All right, let's get set up. GoPro, stop recording.